It's beautiful. 37 miles. Little B-roll footage from the fun adventure run 4 or 5 days ago. This bad boy right there. La Sportiva PRodigio Pro. All right, cue the Italian music. All right, a company out of northern Italia. Oh, my brother and I actually almost went to their headquarters last summer when we were in Italy racing. And let's just say, is this the introduction of 3D printing to running shoes? Actually, has anyone created a running shoe, whether it's road or trails, completely 100% from a 3D printer? Huh? You tell me down in the I don't think I've heard of one. Like, maybe on. Anyway, the upper. Let's start there on top of the shoe. They're calling it their power wire. All right, it's right there on the side of the shoe, and it looks like. What does it look like? It's something from something almost like a piece of furniture on your patio type. Anyway, it literally looks like wire that's just been laid over each other, like a 3D printer almost. And when you pull it out of the box, you're a little shocked. You're wondering, what's this gonna do? It did well. All right, at least it did well for me in a 10-mile run and a 37-mile run. All right, in fact, really well. Now, it is a booty-style collar. Okay, some people like that, some people don't. Just keep that in mind. That wraps around the ankle of the shoe. For me, it was great. No, and I will say, I can't remember, now I got a little delirious at the end of the 37 miles, but I cannot remember any rocks or grit getting into the shoe after 37 miles, all right? With that booty style collar on the tongue. It's one piece of material, one piece of mesh on top of the foot. There's no separate tongue, but the padding. Oh, my engineers at La Sports, great job on the top of the shoe, right there through the tongue, all right, right there. It is spot on. Let me just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 pads on top of the foot, just to make sure for those long runs especially, that the laces are not disrupting the top of the foot, are not digging into the top of the foot. It was a thing of beauty. Laces, great. Eyelet chain, stout. I mean, I'm looking at this eyelet chain, and I think it could last for years and years and years and years. Like, it is a really well-built eyelet chain. Again, the whole upper is well-built. And this power wire, I'm really fascinated by. And the look of it, the feel of it. Now, gosh, it's got to be fairly breathable. Interesting. Wow, it's like almost like a sock just underneath the power wire. So, it feels to the touch really like it's gonna last forever and ever and ever. So good job, Italy. Good job, La Sportiva. I'm loving it. Okay, on to the midsole ride. They call it the Flow Speed midsole material, and there's some stats on the midsole. I did mistakenly when I unboxed it, I thought there was some sort of plate inside the midsole. I was not, not correct in that. But the midsole ride, again, 37 miles, there's the durometer. I think it was high 40s, if I'm not mistaken, like 47, 48. And, it felt underfoot, understep. Again, I toward the end, my legs got a little tired, but at mile 31, 32, 33, I was still going. I was like, wow, like this midsole still feels great. So I'm gonna say in a 4 millimeter depth on those lugs on the bottom of the shoe, this is gonna show up on starting lines in 2025. I guarantee it this summer for 50Ks, 50 milers. I wouldn't be shocked to see it on some 100-mile starting lines either. There's a little more information on the midsole, that supercritical EVA, okay? And it is a full-length polyurethane coated nylon mesh to provide a thin and lightweight layer of impact protection from underfoot rocks, all right? And that's key. And I did step on some rocks, again, on that long run. That's one of the worst sensations. It's actually, I bruised my foot, my left foot it took almost a year for this bruise on the bottom of my foot to totally go away. It didn't hurt, but if I ever Yeah, anyway, so you don't want to step on rocks or roots without a little bit of protection there in that midsole. It is that Friction XF 2.0 outsole rubber. Sticky, tacky, sticky, however you want to say it. Again, you just run if you're in the store, if you see this shoe in the store, it is available down below. If it's available, it might be sold out at this point in your size. Just keep it's going quick. But if you run your fingers, if you go to a store and you just pick it up and you run your fingers on that outsole, you're gonna feel that tackiness. Some rubbers on the outsoles just feel more tacky, and it makes a difference when, especially, and sure enough, when I was out there again that long run, it misted. It never rained. There was a mist almost the entire day. So all the rocks that I was going over were just a little wet, and that's where you want just a little bit of tackiness. I'll use the word tacky, sticky, to that rubber, and you can just feel it compared to some other, especially road shoes, when you run your finger over the outsole rubber. And before I forget, question of the day, trail racing 2025. All right, what are you racing, and what shoe are you gonna race in? Maybe you don't know yet. Okay, I would put the La Sportiva PRodigio Pro in your possible options for anything past, I would even say anything past like 15 miles, maybe even 20 miles, but 50, especially the 50K distance. I think, again, this is a huge, okay, I made the mistake. When I attempted my first 100 miler up at Run Rabbit Run 100 in Steamboat Springs, I raced in a La Sportiva. Why? Because this is 6 or 7 years ago. This is back when money was a little tighter for the family, and I won a pair of La Sportivas at another race, and they were free trail shoes. The midsole was hard as a rock. So this is a huge, I can't stress enough how big of a step this is for this brand, for La Sportiva, because historically, I'll just say, their midsoles have been a little on the firmer side, okay? When I show you that durometer score, that's low, which lower the number, just so you know, the softer the midsole. That is a low number for this brand. So I'm highly encouraged, very excited that they are continuing to listen to the audience, continuing to listen to you, continuing to listen to starting lines around the world where they're like, listen, the world has changed. It's compared to a decade ago, compared to 15 years ago in the trail running space. Let's just soften up the midsole a little bit, put a little more stack height under the heel, under the forefoot, and see what happens. So would I buy the shoe again? 100%. And I would encourage you to go buy the shoe, or at least go test the shoe if you're going for Salomon, looking at Salomon over there. If you're looking at Hoka, you know, those are the two brands that everyone goes for. Don't forget now, La Sportiva. All right, at least in the trail running space. Obviously everyone makes trail shoes, and I love New Balance, actually. They put some good trail shoes out. So I would say in my mind, Hoka and Salomon are kind of the big dogs, and there's a ton of brands out there. I'm leaving many out, but they're like the big dogs in my mind. I don't know. Just think about it, everybody. Okay, I'll stop there. It was awesome. I loved it, and I 100% would buy this shoe again. All right, comment of the day. Yesterday we talked about the Hoka Bondi 9, a road daily trainer maximalist. I think the heel is 44 millimeters. So we're talking a chunker, and I loved it. And this is a comment being polled. I think it's just good insights from H. Gemis. Sorry it's not really a first name. Maybe it's a first initial and last name. Anyway, bought a couple, meaning he's bought a couple maximalist daily trainers. 365 miles in the Puma Mag Max Nitro. Very good shoe, just retired. After that, I bought the Asics Super Blast 2. Felt heavier even though it's lighter. However, it's very comfy and a good companion for long runs. Also snatched the Hoka Sky Flow for 65 bucks. Deal. We always like good deals here in the studio. Very pleased with it also. That's my 3 daily trainers for long runs. It's just a good insight, all right, and I love how you gave some mileage for that Puma shoe, the price point for the Hoka. It just helps us understand a little better what is working for a runner out there in the world. Onward and upward, here we go. We're gonna toss it to, I don't think I actually have a La Sportiva playlist. At the end of the day, we'll toss it to the trail running shoe playlist right there. Trail running shoe playlist right there. All right, let's go. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.